That's the power.
It's been so cool to watch you break generational curses in your family. Like watching you go through the program and then just watching your family follow you has been something like just so fruitful for my eyes to see. And it's powerful just to know like we have the power to like kill what stands in our tracks, you know what I mean? Like my family, it goes back generational, and like we stood in the way of that generational curse, man. Yeah, it's powerful. Seeing your boy.
Yeah, I mean, my family, we come from the tribe of Daniels, Jack Daniels. So, but in all seriousness, it's like, my father was an alcoholic. Both my grandfathers were alcoholics, and when you're kind of born into that, you really don't know anything else, And thank God that I got to a point in my life where I just realized that's not what I wanted to leave. That's not the legacy that I wanted to leave, especially when I thought about my children. That's to get to see my son now following the Lord, and then there's some others in my family, young men that are still, wrestling. They're wrestling with God right now, and but it's just great to watch unfold, and to think that a decision that I made or you made as men, as we're called to be, leaders of our families, to think that the decisions we made to follow God today could change generations down the road that we won't even meet. Because I don't know how far the alcoholism goes back. You don't really know past your grandfather so much. But like I said, to think that, I read in the blessings in Deuteronomy where God says, I will bless your children's children. When I read that, and that's a promise from God, and God doesn't lie, right? So, to hold on to that promise. And that was one of the scriptures I read that I was like sold out, and I was like, okay, God, let's see. Yeah.
He doesn't lie. That's for sure. I think sometimes we misinterpret though. Like when they think he says something, but he's really saying something else.
Yeah.
So